Hey, welcome to the Filthy Gearbox Garage. Why is it called that? Well, if you know, you know, and if you don't know, maybe you don't need to know. Anyway, you've probably been wondering when the next installment on Basket Case Bus, or whatever I was going to be calling it, let's call it Groovy Green Camper, I don't know, was going to happen. Well, finally it's here. This is a video right here that you're watching. And we're going to pick up the pace a bit and actually get on with some actual creative work finally, and try to not get sidetracked by engine problems and other issues and carburetor issues and stuff. And basically, we're going to cover at least a whole season, maybe even 2 seasons in this video, as I gut out the interior and go and get some paneling for it, so that we can make this groovy wood grain 70s interior for it. But it's going to take a while to get there, but we're going to go as fast as we can, and I guess we just start the video. So we're going to get rid of these tinted windows and replace them with some windows that aren't tinted, because I just happen to have more windows. And that means, yes, we're going to get rid of this this engraved, etched cliff wolf thing on the back, which I don't really like anyway. But I have some windows that don't have tinting on them, so we're going to put them in. We're also going to get rid of this headliner, which may or may not have been original to this bus. Usually a passenger bus would have a headliner like this, but it would also have white vinyl on the sides as well. And as you can see, it doesn't even have the white vinyl on the sides. So there's a rough edge between the headliner and the sides. And if we're going to do wood paneling or whatever, we're going to have to get rid of all this stuff anyway. But we might be able to use the material in another project because it doesn't really have any rips in it. Whoops! Way more rust around the edges than I was hoping. In general, all this stuff here has got there's extra holes, there's surface rust. This is all gonna have to be treated so that it doesn't get much worse. But it sounds like the next thing we can do is, I guess I should pull out this Jean-Louis window. That is all nasty rust too. Doesn't look like it's busted straight through yet, but that is not the kind of stuff I wanted to see. This means I can finally get at the headliner and disconnect it. And there we go. Do not destroy it. I got the camera stuck under here. Oh gosh, okay, hang on a second. So embarrassing. What a mess. Oh boy. Pull it out. So we're gonna put this away someplace, cool, dry place or whatever, where it won't get dirtier, and yeah, save it till later. Here's how nasty it all looks. And of course, with the windows out, my god, this thing's gonna be pong, pong, pong. But apart from a little bit of fluff over here, I'm actually quite happy that there wasn't insulation and garbage and mouse nests and poop and whatever. So yeah, bus is very airy right now. thing with the rust is it's always worse than you think it's going to be. Hopefully this doesn't go all the way through, but I'll have to just start grinding away at this. Oh boy, not what I was wanting. Oh, there's a screw stuck in there still. Thankfully up here it's fine, but this is definitely where water collects, and that's just rusty bits of bus. I have to see how to take this piece off here. Where? Okay, there's a screw right there, and oh, there's another screw right there. So that shouldn't be too hard, assuming that it actually comes off. But we'll zap those with some penetrating oil and we'll get this piece off. And then we'll try to see if we can get this down to bare metal, get some primer on it, and some new green paint. Probably should take this out while I'm at it. This is, yeah, this whole gasket's no good anyway. Hopefully I have another one of these. I think I do. Yes. Yeah, that's not very good, is it? That's a common thing that happens with these. Alright, I'm gonna shut that and forget about that for now. So this piece right here has proved itself to be very, very stubborn to come off. So I'm gonna take it off with a piece of wood and a hammer. So now we can see just how bad it is in here. That's oil. I had to put oil in there to loosen up a little bit. Hopefully that is not rusted through, but it's gonna take some doing to yes, but you can see the original paint color here. Another piece off. Once I did start scraping at it, yes, it is rusted all the way through. This is not what I wanted to see. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to deal with that because I do not want to have to like replace this piece. But I want to keep this from getting worse. I don't know if just bringing it down to bare metal and maybe I could weld a couple bits in there. The thing is, it's always going to rust from the other side. There's no way you can keep these things from rusting. Unless you sell it to someone in Arizona and then so not a good development, but this is fairly typical of these buses. But now is the time to do something about it. I would maybe, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do here. Probably try to see if we can just get some phosphoric acid on this for now, and some primer. I gotta keep it from getting a little bit worse.
Thing about that POR 15 stuff is kind of the minute you open the can of it, you kind of either want to use it all up or you want to use it up within a couple months. It's the spots like in there. So I'm gonna have to attack these with the wire wheel. Thing about POR 15 is it really likes your rust to be rusty. I mean, not like porous rusty, but it definitely wants it to be rough. POR 15 does not stick too well to bare metal. It doesn't stick too well to painted surfaces. So it does kind of, I'm going to have to take places like this and basically grind away enough of the paint. Oh, I'm not looking forward to this. So yes, I know what you're probably really supposed to do is remove all the rusty metal and weld in some new metal. However, I came to the conclusion that my welding skills are so bad that I would probably end up with holes just as big as the holes that are in here now. So instead, I encapsulated the rust and completely sealed it up, and then did Bondo over the spots that were holes. And maybe someday later I will replace it with actual metal, but we'll see how well this holds up. Because I really just wanted to get the windows back in, to be honest. What's been the progress so far?
Well, I know in some of the early videos you probably saw a floor in there. That was just put down temporarily to see how it looked. This is the actual plywood subfloor. But I have a few more holes. I think I have a hole in the corner there I need to fill before I can commit to the floor. I did put the seats back in it because I just don't have a place to store them indoors. And I put the windows in, but I'm going to have to take them out again because I have to do the body filler. And when I'm doing that, I'll probably... There's a whole bunch of holes. Somebody just randomly drilled holes here. I think they were trying to connect the table. Usually the table connects down here below the side paneling. So, but I am trying to get this thing so I can drive about 75 miles to a location where I have been offered up a bunch of authentic 1970s wood paneling, like more than I could possibly ever need, and I'm going to use that for the ceiling and for the side panels. However, I cannot get this thing to run reliably. Alright, so I have come to the conclusion that this engine is just garbage. It has... That's not supposed to do that. It has a lot of play. Oil pressure light comes on occasionally at low revs. Sometimes it seems to just get warm and the oil pressure light comes on. And then on top of that, it was running very badly. So I took the original carburetor off, which was a Brazilian one. So like a lot of things in this car, there seems to be a lot of brand new parts that they put on this thing to try to fix things. Brosol Brazilian carburetor. This is much cleaner than it was. Oh, the other thing too. Oh my god. There was like half of a gasket here originally when I took it off the car, plus that stupid silicone RTV stuff. If you're ever working on an old VW and you see silicone RTV on it, that's a clear indication that someone has been working on it in the last 25 years or so. But I cleaned that carburetor out, and it was pretty shitty inside, and I'm amazed that it ran at all on that. But I went through all my carburetors and I found about 3 more of these Solex 30 pick 2s, and I started cleaning this one as well. This one's definitely missing some parts. I bet you if I go home I'll find another 3 or 4 more carburetors, and it's nice to test them on something, and because it's really easy to take them off and swap them out. So I rebuilt this one, and I rebuilt the Brazilian one, but I put this one on and it runs a lot better. It does not stall on me, because this thing would stall every time you took your foot off the gas. It would stall at every stop sign. It would stall every time. Yeah, that's kind of what broke the gas pedal. So, and then the other thing that this is doing is, it turns out it is not charging, and it is drawing a little bit. It is not really putting anything into the battery. But why that's not reflected on the generator light, I don't know. What I think I'm going to do is put in a generator instead. So I've got a couple extra generators here. I wish I could just get it to charge a little bit. So unfortunately, this trip that I want to take to get the paneling still has not happened. It's not going to happen for a little while. I may have to take it in a different vehicle. I always got that one. But at least this thing is running and not stalling. But yeah, there's a lot of things, a lot of telltale signs in this car that it's a high mileage car. I would say that that super worn out rear hinge is an indication that it's been opened 20 trillion times, which is the difference between that one and that one. That is a 20,000 mile car, even though it's not the same engine and transmission, but the body on it only has 20,000 miles on it. So basically what it's doing is right in here, there is a worn out elongated hole when there's supposed to be some kind of a bearing or something. I don't know. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be like this one. Fortunately, I cannot get this piece off, and when you go look on like the Samba for hinges, They're always selling these pieces. No one ever sells this piece, because this piece always ends up staying with the car when they scrap the car. Because it's, there's a spring here, and no one ever takes this piece off. So this side isn't so bad. Oh, you can actually see. So there's a pin going through here with a weird kind of a, I think there's like a snap ring on this side, and then this pin has like this sort of weird squared off circle thing. But the bit it goes through, it's not supposed to have that ridiculous amount of play. So what I'm going to do when it comes time to do this is I'm going to do a bit of welding on this. Unfortunately, it'll be up in here in the air. And I'm going to put some kind of a barrel, and then I'm going to put some kind of pin in here instead of a bolt. And if I'm really lucky, I will find some kind of hardened steel, because this bolt steel with the threads on it is not a good, does not make good hinge pins. Hinge pins, you want them to be not bolts. So give a little bit of gas, and the light goes out. However, it doesn't matter. I check the voltage when it's running, I check the voltage when you rev it, and it never reads anymore. It never reads anymore than it was when the car is off. Oh, look at that. Look at that vibrate. So that's where things stand. Gosh. Yeah, I really want to get cranking on the interior, because all the cloth that I bought and all the pillows that I bought are sitting inside, taking up space indoors, and the foam too. I can't put any of that stuff back in until I make this thing so it basically doesn't leak. Like, I can't have the foam and the cloth getting wet and dirty and stuff. So I will definitely need to fix the hole in the corner over there and the holes around the window rubbers, and do a little bit of something around the back window as well. So I guess the other thing was the gas pedal. Let me show you the gas pedal. I ended up, to fix the gas pedal, there was rust. Well, there was a hole there, obviously, where the hinge was. There's rust quite a bit back in there. I got lazy, and I just I welded the gas pedal to a modified sort of Home Depot hinge. See if I can get way in there. And then I welded that to this piece of galvanized. I did scrape off the galvanization before I welded it. It still did pop and sputter. It's not fun welding galvanized metal, even if you do take the galvanizing off. And then I just pop riveted the piece in, because I'm lazy right now and I just need to drive this thing. So everything in here is still quite a bit of a mess. The miles and miles of undercoating that they... I don't understand. Undercoating is garbage. Don't use undercoating. I'd rather have that to be nice body color paint. Undercoating is a lazy person's way of thinking that they're rust proofing, and they're probably actually making things worse. Could definitely use some... There is no soundproofing at all in there. So this is going to definitely get some soundproofing, because there's nothing like a nice clang when you close your doors. Wow. Speaking of undercoating, the people who owned this before had decided to put undercoating pretty much everywhere. So I had to use all kinds of solvents and stuff to dissolve it and remove it, because I wanted to have all this part to just be nice shiny green paint instead. So there was a lot of elbow grease involved in cleaning all this stuff up. Don't use undercoating on the inside of your car. It's horrible. Don't do it. All right, I am on my way to an undisclosed location in central Massachusetts. A friend of mine owns a mill, and he's doing a bunch of renovations, so I've been told that I can help myself to as many pieces of 4x8 70s paneling as I would like. And I'm going to see I'm driving in the blue bus today, and I've actually set the bed up in the blue bus, so it's a long drive. stuff there and remove paneling, and then come home tomorrow. And I got a bike with me. Well, in case I break down, I need to bike somewhere. It's a really big mill complex. It's actually advisable to bring a bike because if you need to go back to your car to get something, it's like a quarter-mile walk. Yeah, it's a big place. So I'll see you again when we get there. New pavement. Oh, I gotta say, there's nothing as nice as fresh asphalt. And oh my god. Obviously, I don't need 8 pieces of paneling to do the inside of the bus, but it helps just to have plenty of extra. However, I saw this other paneling instead, which I kind of like because it's light, but it's much heavier. So I grabbed 5 pieces of this as well, and I'll make up my mind once I put my color palette together which one's going to work best in the bus. So I came home from Central Massachusetts with a van full of paneling, and then later on I went and bought a bunch of pillows of the color scheme I want to use and found some upholstery cloth for what I intended to redo the bed in, and pretty much spent the rest of this year collecting bits and just doing some tests, testing bits of paneling to see how they'd look inside the car. And that is where we're going to have to leave that video. In the next video, we're going to see that I had enough 1970s wood paneling to simultaneously do 2 interiors of 2 buses at the same time. So just stay tuned for the next video. Please like and subscribe. Join my Patreon. Whatever. Please support the channel in some way because this is what I really enjoy doing. And I have lots of projects like this that I would love to share with people. And I'll see you in the next video. And bye.